Hey man, just curious, why don't you own Bitcoin?
Because I like working overtime while watching my savings buy me less every year.
Ma'am, any reason you haven't bought Bitcoin?
Well, I enjoy being humbled by double-digit inflation and $100 shampoo.
Hi there, mind if I ask why you don't own any Bitcoin?
Because I would hate to accidentally afford college for my kids one day.
Quick question, why don't you own Bitcoin?
Because watching my paycheck buy less and less is the only thing keeping me awake on night shifts.
It's a legitimate question. Why don't you own any Bitcoin in 2025? I would understand if it was like 5 years ago or 7 years ago or 10 years ago. People had a lot of doubts. Bitcoin was still not clear. Many people didn't know what it was. Many people thought that it was a risky internet money. But now with institutional adoption, with the basically the adoption of the American government, of over 100 companies now have added Bitcoin to their treasuries. What's your excuse? Why aren't you into Bitcoin? Are you like one of these people? You wanna see your savings buy you less? You enjoy double digit inflation? You wanna stay, you wanna stay in your day job making less and less each year, because like I've said in one of my videos that a salary raise or a wage raise is actually bullshit, and if you get a 1% or 5% salary increase, the cost of living increases by more than that, because inflation on a good year is 7% if you live in the United States. In other words, if your national currency is the dollar, which is the best currency out of all currencies, because it's the world reserve currency. You can understand this more if you go and watch my video called "The Greatest Scam the World Has Ever Seen." So if the dollar is depreciating 7% a year, what about all the other currencies? And do you really wanna lose your savings, the money that you work so hard for, that you trade your time and efforts and expertise? Do you want to see it go away like that? Why don't you own any Bitcoin? You have absolutely no excuse. I understand if you are a little bit older and you are not tech savvy and you don't know how to use devices, and maybe you don't know how to use an exchange or any of these things. But if you are in your 20s and 30s, this is your opportunity to buy as much Bitcoin as you can. Because if you keep buying it consistently for the next 10, 15, 20 years, you will eventually become wealthy. And you will build intergenerational wealth. And you will leave something for your children and grandchildren. Back in the day, I remember when I was growing up, we used to joke around, me and my friends, saying, why didn't our grandparents didn't buy like land when it was so cheap? Well, I think our kids and our grandkids, they will be saying why my father or why my grandfather didn't buy digital capital, didn't buy Bitcoin, didn't buy the most scarce asset in the history of mankind, didn't buy the hardest money the world has ever seen when it was cheap, when it was below $1 million, below $2 million, below $5 million, below $10 million. And so on. So Bitcoin is still cheap. It's $100,000. It's absolutely cheap compared to $1 million and $10 million. So don't be lazy. Do your homework. Subscribe to my channel. Go watch my videos about Bitcoin. You need to build some kind of conviction before you go all in on Bitcoin. I understand it's a journey, and I understand it takes time and education, and you need to buy a little bit of it and play around with it so you can get used to it. But the more time you dedicate to Bitcoin, the more time you dedicate to studying Bitcoin and trying to understand it and trying to build up your conviction, the faster you will be able to get to that point where you can buy Bitcoin without thinking twice, without doubting yourself, without being price sensitive, without thinking too much about the price and trying to time the market and all this crap. So take the opportunity right now. The best time to buy Bitcoin was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. So invest your time properly. Watch my videos, watch my video about inflation, watch my video about the greatest scam the world has ever seen to understand the current monetary system and the financial system we currently live under, and why Bitcoin is the best financial system or the best money the world has ever seen. Go, I have more than 50 videos on Bitcoin on my playlist called Bitcoin in Economics, where I talk about Bitcoin and I explain a lot of things about Bitcoin. I debunk a lot of bullshit about Bitcoin, and I post videos every day. So if you wanna keep your if you wanna keep your curiosity going, if you wanna keep your motivation up, if you wanna understand Bitcoin more, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos that I post on a daily basis. And I am pretty sure that your future self in 5, 10, 20 years will thank you, because you have done the best decision you could ever do, which is to learn Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin. So that's all I have to say in this video. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel. Send this video to a friend or to help this channel grow. And see you in the next one. Take care.